Okay.
People when they look, let's say, at Miss Seychelles, at myself, they think it's just about the superficiality with makeup and catwalk and nice bodies and nice faces. But I think
That's what.
it goes deeper than that. That's where the mental and spiritual nourishing comes. It's bigger than that. You have to have the empathy for the most vulnerable, the kindness, and it's a lot of inner work, a lot. And even if after winning Miss Seychelles, my work is not done, the work to work on myself is not done. I mean, there's more to come. Day by day, sometimes you see some things that comes up in your life and you go like, okay, maybe it's because of my childhood trauma and I have to deal with it. And it's never ending, I can say. But the more the
Never
journey
ending.
continues, the more beautiful it becomes. And it's just wow. It's really
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I cannot even describe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you are serving such a high supreme standards in society,
Oh,
because art, beauty, and psychological inspiration, this is, I believe, the most important things nowadays, especially in our narcissistic century with purely narcissistic values imposed to people, unfortunately. That's what we see recently. And how to find that balance between being a proper narcissist for you to be advanced and to stay still that wonderful, really wonderful soul you are. That's an art which actually I believe you are studying so good, because I believe you found that balance, between being really advanced and selfish in the best sense of this word, and in the same time keeping your soul really healthy, not getting
mm,
with narcissism or whatever else, star disorder. you know,
yeah.
that's why I believe that more likely you will have that future of a real star, of a real queen.
But I think also like my platform as Miss Seychelles, which I want to dedicate to semi orphans who lost one of their parents like myself. But I also want to create a voice for. I want to give hope to people, especially young women, to know that regardless of what you face in your life as traumas, or now we have a lot of single mothers in Seychelles, but regardless of all the traumas you face, there's always hope, and you can be whatever you want to be if you put your mind to it, if you discipline and if you determine
Stop
and you keep
waiting,
rocking.
right? Stop
Yes,
waiting.
you
Do
can
that.
do it. You can do whatever you want.
I believe
Just
that's
put
what
your
you
mind.
did initially, right? After all the traumatical experiences, you were stuck on a bottom for some time, but then after you found out that no one is coming to help. God is already there. If He's there,
Yeah.
He already gave everything in this world for you just to choose as your tools to rescue yourself.
And
Mhm.
we have a lot of international inspirations like Michelle Obama, Beyonce, and all of that. But we
Yes,
don't have a lot of
celebrities.
local
Yes.
inspiration for local people to actually be like, okay, I want to be like her, or okay, she did it. It means I can do it as well. So we have to tap into our local people more and actually put it out there, and people can have more examples and they can actually be better, because we have a lot of social issues arising, especially now with the COVID and the economy being affected now. Maybe there's going to be a lot of more social ills, but at the same time, you cannot let these things stop you.
Mhm.
You have to stop your family's traditions. If they never went to university, why can't you be the first one to go to university?
You know what question is now pending in my mind? I know you as a really kind person. And that's what I admire the most. Like sincerely kind, not pretending kind, not drawing a picture, not
Yeah.
posting whatever ideal picture because you are Miss Seychelles, so you need to be an icon of style or whatever. No, I know that you are so simple and kind indeed.
Mhm.
My question is, what is your recipe? Like what made you? Do you think it's your way of upbringing? I seriously mean that, because you are a rare diamond, in my opinion, in this
Oh,
world.
thank you
And
so much.
what do you think?
Actually,
Mhm.
actually, me and my best friends were just talking about it this week. I was like, girls, I think I'm too kind, and I think I need to change it about me, because there are some people who actually come to take advantage of you. But the difference between the
Abusing,
old
yes.
Kelly,
And
yeah,
we
the
know
difference
some
between the
stories
old
from your
Kelly,
life of abusers, right?
yes,
Hopefully they can hear us too now, getting their lesson. Yes.
I know, right? It's always better when they actually hear us, the abusers.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'm so kind that sometimes I think people, they take advantage, but I will say the old Kelly will be abused mentally, but now the new Kelly, even if I'm kind, but I do have the willpower to say, fuck off if you have to, because this is my new personality now. But I
Mhm.
think what's the recipe? I think it's my upbringing, really. I think it comes from my mother. I mean, even if she passed away, but something that she left with me is
Mhm.
she kept the humility with me, because I remembered when I was a very young girl, we used to go to town together, and she will show me the people sweeping the streets, and she will say, even if they sweeping the streets, you have to say good morning to them. You have to ask them how are you, because you never know if they were having a bad day. As much as you will say good morning to a businessman or to a lawyer or to a president, you should also say thank you to someone who's sweeping the streets. And she was always filled with this kind of kindness around her. Like everyone used to love her and everything. So I think I took a lot of this attribute from her. But
Okay.
Marina, at the same time, I think even if I'm an extrovert, let's say 90%, but sometimes it's a disadvantage because I give a lot of energy to people sometimes
It's
when I'm
true.
supposed to give it to myself. So I need to find the balance most of the days. I'm happy that I'm aware of it. That sometimes I go like, okay, Kelly, now you're giving too much. You need to give some to yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, true.
Orphans, that's another topic important for Seychelles. We do have that problem here when orphans are either too much put on pedestal, I would say, and they are not getting real normal care how to survive in this life. They are, by other words, they are either too much spoiled by cadeau, gifts, whatever, or they are totally neglected and really put aside. And your life story with the loss of mom, if I may tell about that, if I may not, we will cut it.
No, it's okay. It's
Editing.
okay.
Uh, that's an example of a person who indeed knows what does that mean to become an orphan very early, actually. And I believe this is one of the best self-therapy in our adult life to help those people whom we understand, whose pain and traumas we pass through too. Like some of my customers, some of my clients who get recovered from serious alcoholism, they've been advised to create groups, anonymous or whatever else, to help people with the same problem, because this is one of the most strong ways to maintain your own shape. The question is, I understand your inspiration to work with them, but do you have any program or whatever? What is the plan? What would you suggest? Maybe are you going to president or whatever else, politician in power to get them on board? What is the plan?
Actually, before the reigning of Miss Seychelles in December, I already had a group of, I think it was 12 girls from Answaya Secondary School. I was working with them. Most of them are semi-orphans, meaning one of the parents died, but
Mhm,
also four of them, one of the parents is in prison.
mhm,
And I gave them a talk. The talk was about resiliency and about how you need to strive even after your traumas. But then we were supposed to continue the work, but then COVID-19 happened, so we had to pause. But I still talk to them here and there. But the program itself is for me to cater for the semi-orphans' well-being, like we're talking about now, the mental wellness.
mhm.
I want to take on board psychotherapists like yourself and others who will be willing to, let's say we can do focus groups. I thought of focus groups, where they can come and feel that, okay, we're not alone. I'm not the only person who have lost my mother. I'm not the only person that I've lost one of my dad. Another young girl also is facing the same thing as I'm facing. And then you can feel, okay, this is something that I have a group of people now, we can work towards becoming better. And I wanted to also offer them sessions such as life skills, how to make decisions, how to cook, how to manage their own wealth, how to take care of themselves,
So
how to
cute.
respect your bodies as a woman. I wanted to include all of these things and also include sport, other things such as other seminars for them to learn about different topics, because I believe that's something that helped me a lot when I lost my mom, which was 14 years old. For those who did not know, it was 14. I lost my mother at 14 years old, which was very young. So how I cope with that, I actually participated in a lot of extracurricular activities. I'm not telling you guys to do the same if you're going through the same experience, but it was something that uplifted me. I was looking for, okay, what is my passion? Is my passion sports? Is my passion cooking? Is my passion joining a club for drug awareness in Seychelles? So I joined all these groups, and then it helped me to become this active Kalimeri, very, very enthusiastic that I know myself today.
No matter what happened, as I understand, your recipe is to stay enjoying whatever is enjoyable for you, right?
Because I didn't want to really, because there was also an aim for me to increase because the semi-orphan benefit that the semi-orphans are receiving from social welfare, I was the one, as a young honorable in the Seychelles National Youth Assembly, I was the one who put forward the motion for semi-orphans of Seychelles to receive a welfare benefit because they were not receiving anything. And the motion was passed in 2015, and then by 2016, a lot of semi-orphans were receiving social welfare benefits from the government. But one of my aim from the project, I also wanted to increase the amount that they are receiving. But now with all the financial implications of the pandemic, I don't think I can increase the amount they're receiving, but I think they are receiving an amount actually. But okay, their financial well-being are being taken care of. Now let's take care of their psychotherapy, of their psychological well-being, their soul well-being. Yeah.
Great. What is the most brave thing you would tell me today? Your confession about your life. What would it be? What would you share, confess with other people today?
I will say that apart from losing my mother, which affected me as a young person, I was also betrayed by one of my very great best friend when I was 18 years old. She was like my very beloved best friend, and I loved her so much. And she betrayed me in the sense that she betrayed me also with my boyfriend. My boyfriend cheated on me with her, and it was something that was very traumatic to me. It was very, very painful because it was two people, which at that time was my boyfriend and my girly best friend. I loved them a lot, and for them to actually go behind my back and betray me and they did a lot of things that was mentally abusing to me. And people knowing about it, because I think it's something
but for what reason? What would you extract? What is your advice about that? What is the lesson?
I think the lesson from that is that sometimes if you do love people, but you also have to be very cautious of who you spend your energy with. And sometimes you have to listen to your instinct. I ignored my instinct for quite a long time. My instinct was telling me that these two were having something behind my back, and I kept telling me, no, it's not true. They cannot do that to me because it's too bad to be true. But I think if you listen to your instinct and you really put one with one, it is the truth. Listen to yourself. Yourself is always telling you the truth,
Yes.
Take
Guys,
action.
listen to yourself. Listen to your gut feelings. Okay, we will finish soon. Then maybe there is something as the ultimate message of today you would tell to young ladies of Seychelles.
Yeah. I believe my message to the ladies of of the islands here is we have this culture whereby we are jealous of each other's successes. We always bad mouthing other women. I think it's something that we need to stop, even if maybe it's in our woman's nature, but sometimes it doesn't mean that's a woman's success. It's gonna take
Interesting.
away our success as a person. It doesn't mean that. I mean, the culture here when it comes to woman is very toxic somehow. There's a lot of jealousy. And my
Uh-huh.
advice is, why do we have to be jealous of each other? We just need to empower. I mean, I came from a platform, Miss Seychelles itself, there were 11 girls. And
Mhm.
even now, after the pageant is over, we still see ourselves encouraging each other in their endeavors, in their undergoings. We push each other to actually be the best of themselves. And it's something that I want to advise, because the universe sees you, and the positive energy you're giving out there is going to come back to you, positive karma. So let us stop this
This
toxic
is what
trait
you've
of,
learned by your experience, right? Absolutely
yeah, yeah.
practically, absolutely realistically, how it works. Yeah, I know what you mean. Jealousy has its roots, right? It's purely psychological problem. And dear people, if you find your problem is related a lot with kind of a jealousy or something like that, don't hesitate to get help too. Why not? It's not your disadvantage or bad trait or whatever. It's kind of a weak state which doesn't let you improve in life. So,
Actually, Marina, if I may add, it was something that I faced commonly just after the death of my mother. People in
mhm.
society, they were like, why is she still succeeding in school? Why is she still not into bad influences in drugs or prostitution? Her mother just passed away.
Uh-huh.
She needed to be in a bad place in her life. So I think there was some form, I experienced a lot of form of jealousy at a very young age in my life, and which woke me up a lot. And it was not in
They
it
helped
was
you
not
to be where you are now, actually, with their
yeah.
humiliations. Thanks God they helped you. Great. Man.
It was actually all the women that was being jealous, and it woke me up. I was like, why are they being like that? And I think that's also why I chose my project about semi-orphan, because some people think, okay, orphans, they lost both of their parents and they are really vulnerable, but at the same time, semi-orphan, losing one of your parents is a lot of suffering, because no one knows the relationship with that parent that died, that passed away. People don't know that, and they think it's still okay because you have one parent alive, but it
Mhm.
really affects you, because in my case, let's say my mother,
You
she
were a
was
child. You
I
were
was a child.
vulnerable. You could not cope with such stress. You just don't have mental capacities to carry it on. Of course, that's why it's more traumatizing, more affecting our mental health. If it happened
Yeah.
when we were not ready to cope with that, coping mechanism is not formed yet to cope, to carry it on. By the way, our dear audience, people who are watching us right now, let me elaborate you something. If a woman at age like middle age or even older is jealous and toxic that way Kelly Mary described, that's a sign of mental health issues, mental disorder. So whoever is bullying you or treating in a very toxic way, it's a sign that they are not happy, they are not healthy. Something is really going on or happened in their life which affected them too much. And nowadays, unfortunately, they cannot share happiness. They can share only that toxic content. So you need to understand that problems is not in you then. And you are welcome to get help, psychological help, of course, on individual sessions with me or with another specialist.
Yeah.
Okay, dear Seychellois people, thank you so much for your trust and attention. And please don't hesitate to put comments, whatever you are thinking about what we were just discussing now. And maybe your questions to Kelly Mary, you can also address
Yeah. I will take on any personal questions.
or in social media contacting her directly. And thank you again and have a nice day. Order new videos. And thank you, Kelly Mary, a lot. Thank you for coming.
It's okay. Thank you to you, Marina.